Hey, this is Miss Sebastian, and we're going to look at stem and leaf plots today. So our first question is, which stem and leaf plot represents the data set? So we see a key down here at the bottom of each of these that says 2 with the line between it and 3 is the same as 23. So all they're doing here is the left side of the stem and leaf, that's the stem, is the tens place. The right side is the ones place. Okay, so I'm going to look here and I've got 18. So with 18, I should have a 1 in the tens place and an 8 in the ones place. We've got it there. And I'm actually going to use the highlighter so that I can cover that up. Okay, and I'm going to look in the other ones and make sure I've got that as well. So I see 18, 18, and 18. So 18 is not going to be the one that deciphers this for us. Okay, I do see in the tens place with a 1 in this first table there, or stem and leaf plot. I see the number 10, 1 with a in the tens place and 0 in the ones place, and I do see that over here in my data. So I see that here in the second one, in the third one, in the fourth one, but not in this one. So this one is not an option. Okay, I have to change my color, I think, because I don't think we can see that very well. Okay, so I do see some discrepancies here with the 2 in the tens place. I see a 3, 4, 8, and 9. In this second one, I see a 3, 3, 4, 8, and 9. And over here, I see a 3, 3, and 4. So I'm going to look up here, and I do see a 23. So I would mark off one of the 3's. That would be 23. 23 and 23. I see another 23 that we need to mark off. Uh-oh, in this one, I don't have two 23's. I'm only seeing one. So that one can't be it. I do have it here, and I do have it in that third one. Okay, now I'm going to look at, both of these have 24. Sorry guys, my pen is going nuts. Let's try that again. Okay, both of these have a 24, so I'm not worried about that one. Let's see any other 2's places. I do see a 28 and a 29. That means I should have a 2 in the tens place, an 8 and a 9, but I do not have that in this last one. So I can tell that this stem and leaf plot is my answer. Okay, so I'm going to look here, and I do see a stem and leaf plot. I do need to have a 0 in the tens place. I don't see that here. So that goes ahead and marks this one off. That can't be our answer because it didn't have a 0 in the tens place. Okay, now I see the difference in the first row we'll be able to decide which one of these is the answer. Okay, you could go through every one of these, and that would be fine, and set up your own stem and leaf plot. but we're just going to go through one at a time. So I'm looking for 0 is the tens place. We've got 5. So I'm going to mark off 5 in each one of these. Okay. Then I see I've got an 8. So I'm going to mark off 8, 8, and 8. Okay, so all of our contenders are still in. We've got a 2. So a 2, a 2, and a 2. Then we've got another 2. So that one's there. Uh-oh, I don't have it in this one. So that's not our answer. But I do have it in the last one. And then I see a 6. I don't have it here. But I do have it in this one. So this one has to be our answer, the last one. This first one cannot be our answer because it did not have the 6 on that stem and leaf plot. Okay, so this stem and leaf plot, I see on the first one, I see 88. In the second one, I see 88. Third and fourth, I see 88. So that is good. And I do see an 80 there. Okay, I don't see an 80 here. So that one's not it. I don't see 80 with a 0 in the ones place. So that one can't be it. Okay, I do see in the 90s, I see 9 with a 0 in the ones place. I see it here. But, woo. Let's fix that. But here, when I look at my stem and leaf plot, it looks really weird. And I notice that they've got their tens place on the right hand side and not the left. So that one cannot be my answer. So this last one right here is my answer. Okay, how many people in the group were born before 1970? So in the tens place, we have this whole big number, 197. Okay, so we're looking for before this number. So I've got 1, 2, 3 before that number. So this would be 3 people. Okay, during which year were the most people in the group born? So I'm looking for which one happens as a replicate or a duplicate. I see 1, 2 sevens here. So maybe 1977 could be an option. Ooh, but I see 3 ones there. So that's going to be 2001. That repeated itself 3 times. So that's going to be our answer. Okay, which stem and leaf plot represents the data? So in the first row of every one of them, I do see 1951 and 1954. I'm just going to mark that off. Okay, I do see some discrepancies between the 1960 row. So I see 1961. So I'm going to mark that off on each one. Then I see 1966. So mark that off on each one. 1960 and 1960. So that means I should have 2 zeros. I've only got 1 here, not the second. So that can't be our answer. The one right under it, I don't have any zeros, so that one can't be our answer. This one I do have 2 zeros. And this one I've only got 1 0, so that can't be our answer, leaving just this one. Okay, people at a family reunion recorded in a stem and leaf plot the year they were born. What is the difference in years between the oldest and the youngest? So we're going to look at the first one. And the last one, which would be 2005. And we're just going to subtract those. So 10 minus 4 is 6, 9 minus 9 is 0, 1 minus 1 is 0. So the difference in years is 65. Okay, and which stem and leaf plot represents the data? Well, right off the bat, I notice the difference here. I see that on, here, let's do A, B, C, and D, just so it's easier to recognize. On B, I see that the tens column is on the right. You can't have that, so B cannot be our answer. Same thing with C. The tens column is on the right, we need it on the left. So C is not our answer. And I do see in the first column, we have 2 different rows. So we've got 46 or 40 and 46. But when I look at my data, I do see a 46, but I also see a 40. The 40 is not represented in A, so A is not our answer. So on this one, D is our answer.